The world-famous mystery author Agatha Christie wrote dozens of books starring Hercule Poirot, and Kenneth Branagh is the latest in a long line of actors to take on the role of this character. This is the third movie that Keneth Branagh has played Poirot, and it's my favorite of the three movies. It's called A Haunting in Venice, and what we have here is another whodunit where there's a collection of celebrities that come together in a location, and Poirot has to examine all of the clues and solve the mystery. This one takes place in one of my favorite cities on Earth. It's Venice, and it is an incredible destination to go to in real life. I encourage you all to take that trip to go see Venice, Italy. And the movie does a good job of showcasing that and giving us some great establishing shots, but most of the film takes place inside of this very spooky house where all kinds of unspeakable crimes befell some children. And so we're exposed to a little bit of that detail right away. And then, of course, we learn that there has been a death in this house, and there are all of these different elements that project the fact that it is haunted. And Poirot, who has become a retired detective at the beginning of this movie, is kind of pulled into this mystery because he's invited to attend a party and stuff goes wrong. And so we see the formula of Poirot having to figure out what's going on and who done it, which is kind of typical for these types of films. But what's not typical is the way that this was crafted. This is an unbelievably cool and stylish film. Lots of great camera lenses, lots of great cinematography, lots of interesting work with color and shadows and light. It's just riveting to watch. If you're a fan of the art of production, if you dig behind the scenes on how movies get made, and you just like to examine the way that artists kind of approach their work, this is such a fresh experience. And what's amazing to me is that this is part of now a franchise, but it deviates so much from the formula. Like Death on the Nile, which was the second movie, I thought was just unwatchable. I really like Murder on the Orient Express, and I like this idea of bringing in all of these famous actors and letting them kind of ham it up and play these different characters. This one stars Kelly Reilly, who's huge on Yellowstone. Michelle Yeoh is in this movie. Jamie Dornan is in this movie. Emma Laird is in this one. And Tina Fey has a standout role in this movie, and I'd love to see Tina Fey and Kenneth Branagh together. They've got some great repartee, and it definitely feels evocative of an era. And that's the other cool thing, too, is like it's a period piece, it's a period mystery whodunit, but it also has this incredible filmic quality where there's just weird angles and weird fisheye lenses that are used, and, uncomfortable close-ups and interesting perspectives, like characters will be at the bottom of the frame. And I couldn't take my eyes off it. I was just really impressed with how it was all constructed and obviously made to kind of mix things up and to make things a lot fresher and different, and also give us the horror movie vibes that this movie is trying to project. There are definitely sequences in this where Poirot is questioning his sanity and questioning his ability to see rationally, which is his calling card. He's always the logical one in the group. He's always able to see through the artifice that criminals kind of construct and see through the manufactured kind of lies that people project out there to make themselves look innocent. But in this movie and in this story, he questions himself a little bit. And so it's fascinating to see that performance. It's fascinating to see the way that it's all crafted. And I found it incredibly satisfying, even though it does devolve into a lot of the formulaic cliches that we've seen in the whodunit genre. So Branagh and company aren't able to quite sidestep all of that, but there's so much good work in this film. And if you happen to be a fan of mystery movies like this, or horror movies, or Hercule Poirot, or Kenneth Branagh, I think you're going to be super entertained with A Haunting in Venice. I certainly was. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.